What is the biggest mistake of Russia that cost them everything? What is this one little thing that thankfully does not let them win in this war, and at the same time creates such a big difference between superiors and their subordinates, especially in the military and in the government? Any idea what this can be? Well, simply put, the answer is lies. Because of them, Russia started this war. Because of them, Russia thought that they're going to win. And because of them, they are losing. Government and military officials are too scared to deliver bad news to their superiors, and especially to Putin. They simply know that in the best case scenario, this gives them a one-way ticket to Siberia. And the worst case scenario? Well, I think you can already see it for yourself, all these suspicious deaths of top managers and officials. And these are the ones which become public. Just imagine how many more we have never heard about. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. It's the lies what made Russia invade Ukraine back on February 24th, 2022. Putin, most likely believing in his own lies, was constantly brainwashing his closest circle about this necessity to save Russians in Ukraine and to basically cleanse the entire country from these nasty Nazis and drug addicts. It took several years of convincing, but the decision to invade was eventually made, with the promises that this special military operation will be a huge success and they will be able to take Ukraine in just a couple of days. And this was a lie. The closest people to Putin had to lie to him, saying that Russia has all the capabilities, all the necessary equipment, and there is no way that they will lose. And most likely, the reason why they said it is because their own subordinates lied to them. They were simply hoping that the good news will bring the promotion instead of a punishment as a result of telling the truth, which is basically that the Russian army is not ready and this whole invasion doesn't make sense. And at the same time, Russia did not take into consideration the bravery and heroism of Ukrainian soldiers and fast and never-ending support from the West. And that is why only a couple of months after the invasion, the situation started changing in favor of Ukraine once and for all. And here is where lies, which led to critical mistakes, appear once again. But before I tell you this, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel if you like this style of videos. Alright, because of lies, Russia cannot adjust their strategy and tactics accordingly. The commanders tell their generals that everything is under control. Russia is just tactically retreating or reinforcing their positions. And later on, this message is brought to the highest military representatives and Putin himself. And then they obviously make the assumption that okay, we are doing pretty good, let's just continue doing things the way they are. And this lie could not be further from the truth. Those people at origins of a lie quickly realized that this delay of inevitable is a fatal mistake. But they hoped that as soon as bad things started to happen, they will distance themselves from this lie as far as possible to avoid the consequences, which eventually brings another mistake. Those people in power, and not just Putin, but pretty much anyone who has some sort of leadership, they want to do everything possible to keep it. Besides conveniently hiding the truth, they do not accept any other point of view which challenges their leadership and decision-making process. It is either their way or no deal at all. In their understanding, being told what to do by a subordinate is a humiliation. And that is why in such mentality, if you want to rise to a power, you need to start lying yourself. Because, no one likes a person who always brings the bad news, even if it is truth. But eventually, the truth always comes out. And the longer a lie was sustained, the greater and more disastrous the consequences are. When the truth offends, we lie and lie, until we can no longer remember it is even there. But It is always there. Every lie we tell incurs a debt to the truth, and sooner or later this debt has to be paid. Thank you so much for your attention, товарищи, and see you tomorrow.